Hello and welcome to Aspire. In this video, we will be talking about snow estimating, more specifically looking at per-service snow contracts. We'll be learning how to set up a per-service contract here in this video, and we'll go to a property to get ourselves started. Navigate over to the property section in Aspire. We'll search for the property that we would like to prepare the opportunity for, drill into that property, and we'll create a new opportunity this time. Again, you may have a template set up already. This would be the goal of going through your estimating process to figure out how you're going to set up your contracts. You can set up those templates to allow for your estimators to create bids quickly and easily. Today we're going to start a new contract, and we're going to prepare a per-service snow contract. Our invoice type for this opportunity is going to be per service. Our division is going to be snow for our sales tracking. And again, our start and end date for a contract opportunity must include any dates that we are performing or invoicing for work. This is especially going to be important for per service contracts, as we will see here in a little bit. But for our situation here, we don't expect to see snow until November 1st. That may be ambitious, but we are going to expect snow from November 1st to the end of March. This may need to be October 1st to the end of April, depending on your area and the weather that you typically see. We're going to go ahead and create the estimate now for this opportunity. When we come into the estimate screen, we see the similar estimate screen we're used to seeing. We're going to add our services to this estimate. Here for per service, what we suggest is we have certain ranges of depths for the different event styles that may happen. So we have a 1 to 3 inch depth service here. We have a 3 to 6. We have a 6 to 10, and then we'll also have, typically with a per service estimate, we're going to have a blizzard clause or an event that happens over and above our depths that we're typically comfortable with plowing for a fixed price or a set price. And that situation is probably going to be T&M. We'll look at T&M set up in a different video, so we won't concentrate on that too much here. But what we'd like to communicate is your services for your activities you're performing are going to be set up in the different depths of an event that may occur. All right, so we have the same thing for sidewalks. Right, we have a 3 to 6 for sidewalks, 6 to 10, and I saw our 1 to 3 hiding down at the bottom of our list there. There it is. So those are added in a slightly different order, but hopefully you understand the concept. When we add our services here, we're going to use the kits that we also used on our fixed payment estimate. Right, so we have our plowing kit for 1 to 3 inches. We have our plowing kit for 3 to 6. In this situation, we have our plowing kit for our next depth as well. Okay, so in this situation, the kits and their ranges aren't necessarily matching up with our services, so that may indicate that we need to create some additional kits in our system. Okay, there should be a video about how to create kits on Aspire Care if you're interested to look into that. These plowing kits are fairly simple. You just drill into them and you can see the items that are within the kit. This is just a labor item indicating how many square feet we can plow in an hour at this particular depth. So you can set those up with your individual production rates. Again, maybe depending on the type of equipment that you hope to use, there could be some variations there in how you build your kits. The service, though, is requiring a little bit more setup. What we're saying here is for 150,000 square feet, we will charge our client $262.50 to plow that event for a 1 to 3 inch depth. We don't often know how many 1 to 3 inch depth events we will be getting, so we have to cover ourselves in some way. With Aspire, we know that work tickets are going to be what we use to schedule work, provide our costing against, and then also ultimately invoice with, especially with our per service invoice type. Those work tickets do generate the invoice. So we need to make sure we are using enough of those services throughout the season to make sure that we're billing for the right amount. The as needed box in our per service invoice type services is what's going to allow that to happen. By clicking the as needed box, we will be able to create as many work tickets for this 1 to 3 inch depth event as required throughout the season. The dates on the contract, though, definitely are going to have a role to play here. As we mentioned when we were setting those dates on the front screen of the opportunity, they must include any dates where you are going to perform or invoice work. When we have the as needed box checked on that service, those as needed tickets will only be able to be created within these dates. So if you have an event outside of these dates, you will not be able to use this opportunity. So those start and end dates are very, very important for per service estimates. That setup will need to be applied to each of the per service services on your estimate. You will need to come in and check off that as needed box. It is a service specific setting. It is not something we're checking off in administration. So it's only there when you are on your estimate. So you would go through the rest of your services. You would add the appropriate kit if you're using kits. If you're not using kits, you can come into one of your services here and you can just build your costs using labor and materials like normal. Okay, the goal, though, is to come up with a price per service that you are happy with invoicing and charging your client each time that event occurs. So in this particular situation, our 1 to 3 inch depth service will be $262.50. Our 3 to 6 will be $350.01. Our 6 to 10 will be $525.01, and so on. So that is ultimately what we are going to be charging. That's going to be the value of each service when it's performed, and the client will be invoiced accordingly depending on the service that we complete and the event that happens. So hopefully that gives you a better understanding of per service estimating and how you can utilize the settings in Aspire to help you accomplish the estimate that you are looking for. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.